Do you guys know how a scarecrow won an award? He was outstanding in his field. Alright, what's going on, Linear Algebra Bros? It's Mr. C here, and we are going to add and subtract two matrices. Before we get to that, though, I do have an important note. It's important to remember that you can only add and subtract matrices only if they have the same size. Okay, so if we're trying to add a 2 by 2 to a 3 by 3, it ain't going to cut it, all right? You can only add a 2 by 2 to a 2 by 2 and a 3 by 3 to a 3 by 3. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at the two matrices that are provided for us here, matrices A and B. It's important to note that matrix A is a 3 by 2, and so is matrix B, so addition is defined as well as subtraction. Now, in order to add or subtract two or more matrices, when it's defined, you add or subtract corresponding entries. All right, so let's see an example to do with adding and subtracting. All right, the first one we're going to do is A plus B. All right, so I'll write out A plus B and then quickly sub in each of the 3 by 2 matrices. All right, we're going to add that 3 by 2 to this 3 by 2. And now we'll operate with the corresponding entries. All right, so A sub 1, 1 from matrix A is going to get added to A sub 1, 1 from matrix B. So I'll write it out this way. 1 plus 6. Okay, we know that's going to give us 7, and that'll be the first entry in the sum. But we have to do this for the rest of the entries as well. So we have to do 5 plus 1 to get the sum for A sub 1, 2, and then so on and so forth. So negative 1 plus negative 1, then 0 plus 1, then 3 plus 4, then 2 plus 1, and we'll go ahead and simplify everything to get our final answer. All right, so we're looking at 7, 6, negative 2, 1, 7, 3. And that right there is the sum of the two matrices A and B. Notice that it yielded another 3 by 2 matrix, which shouldn't be a surprise, right? Because we can only add matrices of the same size. All right, so now we're going to move on to the second operation here, which is subtraction. Again, let's write it out, A minus B, and quickly sub in the two matrices. All right, and much like with the sum of the two matrices, when we find the difference, we're going to subtract corresponding entries. All right, so the first entry in the difference here is going to be 1 minus 6. All right, the entry next to that is going to be 5 minus 1. And then we'll have negative 1 minus negative 1. Be careful of the double negative there. Then 0 minus 1. Then 3 minus 4. And then 2 minus 1. Go ahead and quickly simplify all of those entries and we'll get our final answer. So negative 5 and 4 for the first row's entries. 0, negative 1 for the second row's entries. And then negative 1, 1 for the third row's entries. And really that's all there is to it. It's a fairly straightforward method. Again, you just have to be sure that if you're going to add or subtract two matrices, that they have to have the corresponding sizes. Otherwise, it's not defined and we can't go any further. All right, well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.